Now, Islamic banking, in Malaysia, and our bank, Bank Muamalat, is a small bank. It's primarily a retail bank, but we make good profit, on a equity base of just about 1.5 billion, Malaysian ringgit. We do make a profit of 200 plus ringgit. Our challenge, and we are a fully fledged Islamic bank. There are only two such banks in Malaysia. What is the difference? What is the difference? Our sharia committee scholars are the most stringent of sharia scholars. Make sure that our products, when we say they are Islamic, you can be assured they are Islamic. However, that is a product that you offer. You're not offering a religion. Okay? So I tell my guys, be better than thou. Your products are better than the other people's products in terms of cost, in terms of its Islamic characteristic. But when you go around selling, you don't try and say, be holier than other people. I say, don't be holier than thou. Just be better than thou, better than the other market. And you can see also, that when the market sees cost lower than other costs of other products, they buy in. I mean, there's some research I just was reading the other day which shows that 50% of the customer base of Islamic products are non-Muslims in Malaysia, which is quite interesting, So people see when your product is that they can get your products at lower cost, and that you give special attention to them. Okay, this is the ethical aspect. You give, special attention to them. And we have a staff strength of a little over 2,000 for, a bank this size, but get close to your customer, At the same time, when they're in trouble, you don't run away, you share in the losses. So these kinds of things, make people more comfortable with you. And you know how it is, bankers can run away from you when you need them most, right? And bankers are nowhere to be seen, let alone being close to you when you need them most. At the same time, we also deal more with a small person, with a small man. So our customer base in terms of our retail banking, consumer banking, they are, people who earn anything between 3,000 to 5,000 ringgit. And our products mainly financing for motor cars, low-cost houses, And we are very close to these guys. But we also have, of course, a corporate banking component. About 50% of our finance assets, about 50% are consumer, retail, but we have about 30%, which is corporate banking. We deal with a lot of SMEs. So we not only give them facilities, we also coach them. In terms, some of them don't even keep proper books. And we coach them in terms of making sure you keep proper books, that when you come to look for financing from us or for loans, as they call, in the conventional banking system, you look good. We coach them on how to look good when you look for financing. And so they feel, that our relationship is so better based and much closer to each other. So they are quite grateful for this kind of thing. And so we build a relationship, and we grow with them. We do have some big companies as well, of course, but the mainstay has been these kind of companies, and they're not all Muslim or Malay companies. And I'm very insistent that we try to develop and have greater relationship with non-Muslims, because it's a product at the end of the day. It is not my exercise of religious practice. That's between me and God. Yeah? A product this is an Islamic product for those who are insistent that they only get Islamic product. We offer them. For those who look for the cost side of it, yeah, we offer it to them. And some Chinese guys has said to me, oh, is your bank also for non-Muslims? I said, goodness sake, where have you been living? It is for everyone. And you can see now, in terms of big sukuk issuance, this is an area that we are, not in, because we are, very small, but in terms of sukuk issuance, how big they have been. And of course, the British bulldog issue of sukuk is a very good benchmark, and many countries are beginning to issue it. And I notice Malaysian companies are now even issuing sukuk perpetual notes. And so that market is really growing, And Malaysia has got, in terms of new issues, something like 60% of the market. Now, coming back to Bank Muamalat, we are retail, consumer. Now, are we missing out? Obviously, are we missing out? My background, has been investment banking, and I've been trying to build up. Investment banking is, again, to do with relationship and people. You get one team of people from a leading bank somewhere, pay them, and then pay them against what they bring in. You can get into investment banking. We're trying to develop that as well, so that we can have a little bite of this cherry, of investment banking, and we can do that. But the main thing for Islamic banks, conventional banks, and certainly for us, is to leverage on technology. And as you know, it's become almost conventional wisdom now. Everyone talks technology. But that's the way to go. No more. We have 59 branches, and we don't want to look at, any more branches. But we have got a new system that we put in at long last, and we want to leverage on that system to offer things like, them, to offer things like e-wallets and such products that will then increase our reach. But mind you, this is again consumer, but when I described ASEAN to you, we're talking about consumer boom. And so the consumer reach, is very important. But there are regulatory issues as well, Are deposits for use in e-wallets guaranteed? Deposit or not? There's lots of issues as technology moves. Whether we have to come up to the mark, and the regulators too will have to come up to the mark. But there are risk factors that are involved. But we have some plans, in terms of leveraging on technology to grow, particularly our consumer market. As I said, we also have plans to develop a capable sort of corporate advisory, corporate finance arm, so to take advantage of this growth in the issuance of bonds and so on. But at the end of the day, it is still a small bank. So we have to look at some acquisition to get bigger. We have been looking. We have looked at some partners coming in. They have been looking. There's always, an issue of valuations, of price, and the existing shareholders have the final say, and it comes to that. And we've not made a deal yet. That doesn't mean we haven't looked at it. There was some talk, for example, even of us merging with Bank Islam, becoming a bigger bank. I didn't see too much sense in it myself, although it's an idiotic thing to surrender a banking license, an Islamic banking license. It's got value there, goodwill value. They also have a license. Can be extinguished, it becomes one. We don't realize the value of our license, So, you have to become bigger as well. But if you look at the history of this bank, not only is it small, however, as I said, it's profitable, and it is also young. It's only 15 years old. And it has had a history of cleaning up the financing assets, which it inherited from, I don't know whether you guys remember, Bank Bumiputra of old. This is Bank Bumiputra building. It's one of the assets we inherited. And Bank Bumiputra had an arm called Bumiputra Finance. They're not particularly well known for having particularly good assets, the group. And much worse was the finance company. So we've spent a tremendous amount of time cleaning up the books. We've been making profits in the last 5 years. So we have come through a dark period. And now, not only have we seen the light, we are moving forward very, very positively. And so we're going to make sure that we continue with the business that we currently are involved in and continue to make more money. The next leap must be try and make 300 million ringgit. It's going to be a challenge. Make sure we diversify our business activities, leverage on technology, and look to grow through acquisition, merger.